Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Lee. I'm the product and program manager at Pluribus Technologies here. We are a nonprofit organization where we have been working on a very exciting project, which is to build a 3D digital imaging technology in use for various public and private sectors. You will learn more details in our presentation today. So our company name is divided by a Latin word, e pluribus unum. That means out of many, one. We now have 7 board members, and we all together are a strong team. And we are coming from different professional backgrounds, different countries, but the project brought us all together because our mission is to build a cost-efficient system that enables the data selection from various low-resolution sources and then output to a single high-resolution image. Then that information can be used in multiple purposes, including the government or the military secure program, and that would make the real positive impact on human beings. So now I'm going to give a quick walkthrough about today's agenda. First, our CTO, Paul Weil. He is also our heart of our team, and he's going to talk more about the technology application we're using, including the system architecture, software, hardware components, those fun stuff. And then next, Martin Duncan, he will tell you why you should sign up for a project, what's the benefit you'll get from participating in these innovative development opportunities. Last but not least, our CEO. She is also our fearless female leader, and she will outline the value of being women developers in our team. So just let you know, Martin and Jennifer, they cannot make it in person today because they are located in other cities, but we will play a recorded video session here, and you could always come to us for more questions. Now I'm going to pass to Paul.
Greetings, everybody. I'm going to give you a kind of high-level architectural view of what we're trying to accomplish here, and then kind of zoom in a couple levels to the specifics of what we think Girl Development could accomplish in 1 week. So at kind of the system context level, just in brief, we have 2 basic kinds of users. So you might see everything kind of centralizes around this tablet application, and 2 basic users. So one of them would be someone who goes into a space, maybe a sewer or an abandoned subway system or a collapsed coal mine, somewhere where it's not really efficient or useful or good to send in individual people. So we will be sending in small cybernetic units that can position themselves around the space with very low resolution, very cheap $5 G-Tech or Adafruit cameras. And Wi-Fi enabled. So this user will essentially be using the application to gather the data being streamed up by these different units and sending it up to our servers. We'll be leveraging the Autodesk Forge APIs. That's essentially Autodesk has decomposed their various software products into a set of web services and APIs that can then be leveraged for collaboration among different teams. But the most interesting thing here is that we have the capability to take all of these many low-resolution 2D images and composite them into a single 3D image. And the strength of this is that the industry standard is Autodesk, whether you're doing movie special effects or you're doing 3D art or whatever. Maybe doing architecture, Autodesk Revit, that kind of thing. And so we'll be able to export into any Autodesk format as well as collaborate on these images in real time. So then we have this user here, which may or may not be the same user as the guy that is gathering the data, or he may be possibly an architect, or it could be anybody. So this is the end user who will be able to use the tablet application then to collaborate on this 3D image, maybe export it into one of the many popular Autodesk formats, or else use it for a virtual reality or an augmented reality application. or even explode the image so you can see the different portions of it as if you had been able to view from any direction. So this is a little more detail. So this area here is what we're actually building, and then all of the stuff outside of the square here are systems with which we are interfacing. For example, Autodesk Forge and the various actual users and so on. So we have this so-called portal application, which is sort of the orchestrator of the whole thing, which talks to our backend servers, our 3D image creation component settings. So the settings, obviously, there might be more than one user of this software. So you don't want the robotic insects that one guy sends in to be sending data to some other user. So there has to be a system by which you can register the MAC addresses of your various units and have them associated with your account, and that's what this is here, as well as user passwords and roles and permissions and that kind of thing. And let's zoom in on that a little bit, because that's what I think is really appropriate for Girl Develop It. So this is the settings application, or settings component, and it talks to the portal, and it talks to the back end, but essentially this is a set of web services that we're going to build, and there's one for users, representing users, usernames, passwords, avatars, user details, and so on. Associated is the user permissions, and that can be either very granular, or in theory there could be user roles that would have preset sets of granular permissions. The device registry and the account details, the organization for whom the account is registered, and so on. So this is what we'd like to build for Coding for Good Week. I think this is, it's time boxed to the point where I think significant progress could be made within 1 week. And there's an associated piece which would be the front end for setting the permissions. So it's not all web services and back end. There's going to be a front end component to it as well. So with that said, I'd like to turn this over virtually to my team member.
There at Code for Good Week, and greetings especially to Girls Develop It. My name is Martin Duncan. I'm Chief Communications Officer of Pluribus Technologies Incorporated. I regret that I cannot be there in person out in California to meet you all and see you. I hope that through this recording, though, I can convey some of the excitement I feel about swarm imaging and being involved with Pluribus Technologies Incorporated. For me, what really is special about this project is that we are not reinventing the wheel, but rather combining some of the newest and most dynamic technologies of the 21st century into a project which is unique in its scope and capabilities. We are taking the 3D cameras, for example. The idea of turning images into data is at the forefront of what we're trying to do here. Lenses, the way that cameras can capture now details such as dimensions, such as heat, defining the difference between what is a person and what is something that's an inanimate object. Different types of vision is going to be put into effect through swarm imaging, and the software and the coding that you'd be doing will be integral to making that work. That technology is going to be on a platform of micro-robotics, and the swarm itself is a conglomerate of devices that are mobile, that have a type of programming that allows them to move, that allows them to be independent, yet also part of a whole, a pluribus unum, in order to capture these images and make them turn into just one visual image which a person or people will be able to manipulate to see, to alter in a device that fits into the palm of their hand. That's something that we have not seen before, and Pluribus Technologies has the information, has the vision, if you will, to put this technology to work. This has to do, of course, with the Internet of Things, something which you all have had some exposure to, I'm sure by now, perhaps some of you even in your own homes. We are very excited about the way that we are putting our own spin on the Internet of Things through swarm imaging, bringing it into a new phase as we develop it under the leadership of our architect Paul, who's already explained to you the basis of swarm imaging. We also have our lead developer, Gurpreet, who will be working closely with Paul, who has experience likewise in working with this type of software and programming, who will be leading you and showing you the ways that we're going to put this all together, assembling pieces into a whole, into something that the world has not seen before, into something that is also, for us, going to be an adventure as we put it together and also work as a team. This is data visualization taken to the next step, and the idea of Pluribus Technologies Incorporated with swarm imaging is to make this technology available first in the public sector for projects in civil engineering, scanning and making surveys underground, search and rescue in situations where humans cannot or will not go, to find people who are trapped, find those who are hidden, police work where it's too dangerous to send agents and officers into the breach. That's where swarm imaging will come into play. We also then can imagine this later working in the military, using it for doing other types of scouting, things that perhaps we haven't even thought of yet. So you will be a part of helping us to see how we will use the technology. Later in the private sector, we can envision this type of technology being used in surveying, in real estate, for looking at properties underneath of roofs, in the foundations of buildings. There's so many uses that we can imagine and that we wish that you would be a part of. So the opportunity is there likewise to be on the ground floor of this exciting new technology, to join a company that's multicultural, that's friendly, that's ethical, where we all work together as a team and where we bring a lot of values that are human values to what we're doing. I'm going to let our CEO, Jennifer Chu, now tell you some more about Pluribus Technologies and what we hope to do with your help. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Martin. Hi, I'm Jennifer Chu, Chairman of Pluribus Technologies. We are very thankful to be participating in Code for Good Week and especially excited to be partnering with Girl Develop It. We have 5 out of 8 board members who are women. I'm partial to the female gender myself. And as a woman in technology, I would have loved to have had an opportunity like this one, where I'm working with a startup in their initial phase, being able to make an impact and shape its future. Pluribus's first product is on microrobotics and 3D imaging. It is a greenfield project, which means you won't be fixing mistakes of developers' past. It is not a bug bashing session, nor will you be building a basic application or putting a website together. This really is a rare opportunity, and it's going to boost your experience and also demonstrate a diverse portfolio of projects on your resume. We hope to have a few select girls to participate in our hackathon. We are hosting a hackathon tomorrow in San Francisco, and we will have on site Paul, Wendy, Kathy, as well as Laura. So again, thank you for the opportunity. We hope to see you girls tomorrow and be working together to be able to launch this thing. And this is the first stage of our product, and we're very excited. Thank you again for the opportunity.
So to Jen's point, go ahead. To Jen's point, we'll be hosting a hackathon in the ballpark area of San Francisco tomorrow. We'd like to have 5 to 10 participants commit for 1 week, and we will tomorrow kind of give assignments out and get people started, and then there can be remote participation. So tomorrow's event will be from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock and followed by complimentary pizza. So come talk to us if you're interested.